Fight man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Let's talk about some boxing. Josh Taylor says that after he fight Ramirez, and he kind of gets a time frame and where it may happen at, that he could go down to 135 and challenge Teofimo Lopez. Also, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez, taking on 3 fights next year and who the opponents that they want to look at. But first, let's talk about Caleb Plant real quick. It's been announced that he's going to fight Caleb Truax. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love and support. And don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, the Facebook group, all those links in the description. And a lot of people not happy with Caleb Plant opponent. But then again, who do you want to fight? John Ryder, David Lemieux, Fedorov, Shuvanov. 68 is top heavy. It's not a deep division. I mean, Gilberto Ramirez gone. Jesse Harden moved up. I mean, who do you guys want him to fight? He was supposed to fight Andre Dirrell. Guess they couldn't come to an agreement or whatever. So a lot of fans sit here bitch and complain. You wanted David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. They're not going to do that for one belt. Benavidez don't have a belt. And then also he just fought in September. So he ain't coming back that quick. So obviously, they wanted to make that fight this year, but David Benavidez's team didn't want to do it. But it didn't really matter what he wanted to do because the pandemic came. So I'm not looking at that fight as a monumental fight. It's just pretty much a stay busy fight. And, it could be bigger things in store that we're going to talk about later in this video for him. But, a lot of people get mad about his opponents that he's fighting. But who you want to fight in the division? Billy Joe over there with Eddie Hearn. Obviously, Canelo and him kind of fell out, but I heard it could happen again. Triple G still at middleweight. Andrade is on the other side of the street. He could move up. Jamal Charlo didn't want to come back in December. I'm hearing that him and Eubanks could get it on. I heard that could be pay-per-view. Hopefully not. So, I mean, you can't get mad at Caleb Plant. It's just not the opponents there for him to fight. Was Shuvenal a better fight? Possibly. Was Mark Murray a better fight? No. Peter Quillen got beat up and knocked out. I mean, is Arthur Abraham still hanging around? I mean, there ain't too many different opponents he could fight there. So a lot of people could bitch and complain, but tell me who you want to do to fight. And we never know. Caleb Truax might make it a tough fight. He experienced, but then again, he blew his Achilles out. He been through a lot. I mean, we all want to fight Alfredo Angulo. I think he just got beat up by somebody on Fox, so I think Angulo win that fight? I ain't sure, but I don't know what these people really want from Caleb Plant, But, and they ain't working with the other side of the street, so you got to cancel out Andre moving up, Triple G moving up and fight him. Billy Joe Saunders, he ain't fighting those guys, so that's just where we at. So it is what it is. You can bitch complain about, what Caleb Plant fighting, but who do you want him to fight? You want him to fight Ivan Uterman. Who's the you heard that the Ander Berlanga cat could be fighting Ronald Garville. I think Ronald Garville would be a better fight than Caleb Truax. Even though Benavidez beat him up in the second fight, I thought he beat Benavidez in the first fight. But hey, it is what it is. Let's move on to, I guess, Canelo. We can move on to him. Heard Canelo Alvarez wants to fight 3 times next year. And, yeah, I heard he's supposed to be in May, September, December, especially the 2 Mexican Independent Day and Cinco de Mayo weekend. And then he want to fight in December. So, I mean, he only fought once this year, if my memory serves correctly. So, he ain't fought in the whole calendar year. He did fight Kovalev, I think, in December. So, of course, he want to get that money back. You know what I'm saying? And, guys should want to at least fight 3 or 4 times a year. See, Canelo, he making more money than anybody in the game, damn near, per fight. Even without his own contract. So, if he fight 3 times a year, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of these other dudes should be fighting 4 times a year. And they telling these guys they pay-per-view stars and the real numbers not indicating that. So, bring back active boxing. People say, well, it's not safe to fight that. That's bullshit. Sparring, these dudes spar to stay active, to stay sharp. Sparring, more injuries happen in sparring than fights. Ask trainers, ask boxers, ask the old school guys. But yeah, him and Oscar De La Hoya stopped Triple G from fighting 3 or 4 times a year at that point, Triple G was still active, and that's probably where the decline of his physical, tools when he started being a once or twice a year fighter, he started kind of looking chubby, in between fights. That's kind of was his downfall, and it wasn't do nothing he can control. De La Hoya said you wasn't getting the fight if you ain't do what we say do and not fight Billy Joe Saunders in June. And shit, he listened and let Canelo, and Golden Boy promote his career without even a contract. But, I heard the fighters that they want him to fight in those 3 fights next year is Triple G, Plant, shit, and Billy Joe Saunders. So I don't know which order. I figured that he'll fight Triple G, Billy Joe, and Plant. I figured those would probably be the 3 fighters, especially the first two matchroom fighters. Him and Billy Joe, I have no interest in it. Billy Joe can't beat him. Billy Joe ain't impressed me since he beat Billy Joe Saunders. Since he beat David Lemieux. And that's his honest opinion, and everybody thought he was on that ooh-wee versus David Lemieux. And when he got popped versus Andrade, he ain't looked the same, okay? So in that fight, I just don't really see much that Billy Joe got to bring. Now, if that Billy Joe can show up that shoulder versus Lemieux, maybe you got a chance. But you could knock Canelo ass out, knock him out like you hit him in the back of the head with an aluminum baseball bat, and they're going to wake him up, and he's still going to win a decision. Shit, he might win by knockout. You ain't even hit the canvas. And that's just how they coming. So all these dudes just want to fight Canelo, especially the guys that can't punch. You're not going to beat Canelo Alvarez with the judges. Floyd Mayweather beat him every round, 12 rounds easy. And he still got a draw. So when you talking about you coming to fight Canelo, a lot of times I believe it's just for a payday from fighters because it's impossible to beat him. But you're talking about Triple G, and Triple G ain't got nothing left. Canelo should knock him out in the trilogy, but we know Canelo only knock guys up when he go up and wait and put rehydration clauses on guys. So that's a fight I just like to see them get out the way. I'm tired of hearing about Triple G and his little fans. And his little fans are kind of, dwindled off. A lot of people jumped off the Triple G Jeep bandwagon. Who got the keys to the Jeep? That's good. I'm tired of seeing these dudes, talk about Triple G. And I was telling dudes he a bum. Man, you a hater, CJ, man. You hating on like he ain't that good. So I would love to see them get that fight out the way. And then, him and Caleb Plant. That's a very, very interesting fight there. Caleb Plant just need more seasoning. You know what I'm saying? He need a trainer that's going to teach him how to walk to guys. Because he got power. When he sit on his shots, he able to drop guys and hurt guys. He played with guys too much. Once he sit on his shots and learn how to fight and be an aggressive fighter, he'll be the complete fighter. And I think he can get Canelo. But then again, he's like to move a lot. You see even in a street fight, he was fighting big fella. He's moving a lot. He don't know how to hold his ground. If you look at all the recently good slick fighters like Ward, Bernard, Floyd, congratulations on going into the Hall of Fame. Those guys knew how to hold their ground. At some point in their career, they knew how to go to their opponent, and they just wasn't moving around. At some point, they knew how to be aggressive, how to set their shots up, and how to handle punchers. And my issue with Plant is he don't know how to handle punchers. He don't know how to sit on his shots and move forward and go to the puncher. And maybe he should bring somebody like Andre Ward or keep working with James Toney and bring them into the fold and show him how to handle aggressive fighters. Show him how to be aggressive. And maybe even Tommy Hearns can help him. But until he locked that down, he really don't have no chance versus Canelo Alvarez. And I heard they were supposed to fight Jamal next year, but I guess, that fell out, So maybe Jamal got to work to 2022. But yeah, 2021 was what I heard. Ronnie Shields regurgitated that on Lion Killer podcast. Check out my boy Lion Killer, him and Nate. Check out Nate's channel, The Galaxy Experience. Nate got the whole little studio now. So shout out to them. Great duo, like Kobe and Shaq, or Pinky and the Brain. I say that jokingly, but yeah, let's finish up, man. You got Jose Ramirez supposed to fight Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor said that fight gonna go down in America because they got fans in attendance, and he want fans to be there. When he put a spanking on Ramirez, I put that in there. But he says that that fight can happen. He said he want to retire by, what he say, 31, 32, or 33. It's in boxing scene. So Josh Taylor, basically said he want to retire. He don't want to fight while he's 35, 36, 37, 38. He told that to over there in the UK. He said he don't want to fight that long. You know what I'm saying? And he said that he down to move down to 35 to take on Teofimo Lopez. We know Teofimo Lopez is supposed to take on the winner. Then he said after he beat on Teofimo Lopez, he'll move up to 147 pounds. So, it should be a very interesting fight. He said he been making the weight a lot easier. We know him and Regis had some struggles on the scale leading up to their fight. And my thing is, I don't want to see him go down to 35. If you do go down to 35 you know, he be undisputed in 2 weight classes. He said it's doable if you want to go down there, but I think Teofimo Lopez is more likely to come up. And he talking about Crawford, I don't know. And he even mentioned Errol Spence in the article. It's in Boxing Scene. But you look at it and you be like, okay, he fight you know, what if Crawford leave and go to the other side of the street? And I think they'll only allow Teofimo Lopez to fight for undisputed if Crawford leave. So I heard Crawford, I said it yesterday in the video, Crawford is in negotiations with Sean Porter. I think that's pretty much going to happen on PBC, and Crawford can be gone. So if they do make Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor at 40 or 35, I think they can see that they, you know, Terrence Crawford is leaving. But if, you know, Josh Taylor can make a deal with Al Heyman to fight Crawford, if he beats Spence, or Spence to fight him, if he beat Crawford, or if they don't fight each other to fight them as individuals, it'd be an interesting fight. He showed that he had a great chin. Regis showed he had a great chin in that fight. He just showed he was a little bit too big and too strong for Regis Prograis. So that's just my opinion on it. Great to have a retirement plan to get out of boxing, but you know, sometimes it never goes as it should go. And you got to keep fighting. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out with a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. All my social media links, subscription, Twitter's the fastest way, then Facebook, then Instagram. Also got a Facebook group if you want to advertise your business on the channel, chop it up. Video requests, whatever, hit me up. Want to make a donation, Cash App CJ Good313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Check out my Detroit channel, Motor City Sports Talk. And check out our backup channel, Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0, both on YouTube. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas.